everybody, it's Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog. Today we are playing with the Hero Arts May card kit. I am super uber excited that I got a chance to purchase this card kit. It's all about mermaids this month, and I'm so excited that I was able to get this before it sold out. I know last month sold out very quickly, and I was glad that soon as it went on sale, I was able to put actually two of these in my cart, one for me and one from a friend. And it just came in the mail, so I figured I would make a quick card for you guys. So as you can see here, I'm starting off with the stencil. This stencil is actually very pretty. It's very detailed, so I'm going to make sure that I put down lots and lots of washi tape on this, just to make sure that I get this stencil to lay down pretty flat. So I'm going to grab one more piece of washi tape and tape that across the bottom. And I'm going to be using some distressed ink. So I'm going to use tumbled glass. And of course, I'm using mermaids today. So I'm going to use Mermaid Lagoon. So for the first and lighter color of the blue, I'm going to start across the top of my stencil. And I'm just going to use just two shades of blue today. I'm just going to use this background as just one of the elements of my cards. So I'm just going to put down a light layer of that blue. I'm not going to bring it all the way down, just about halfway down the middle of my card. And that looks pretty good. I don't want to put it on really heavy, but just enough that I have some good coverage. Next, I'm going to come back in with that Mermaid Lagoon, and I'm going to actually start working my way up from the bottom. I'm going to really concentrate some of that darker color across the bottom part of my card and work it up. And as I go up, I'm going to start getting a little bit lighter in my pressure. And this is going to have a great seamless blend between those two colors of blue. So I'm going to come back in with that tumbled glass and just make sure I can blend those two colors out. So I'm just going to press down and make sure I get a good blend and kind of get it as seamlessly as I can. Now, I'm not liking that blue across the bottom, so I'm going to go in just a little bit heavier. So as you can see, I'm really applying some really dark color across that bottom part. And I think that looks a little bit better. That's more of the intensity I wanted. And that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. And this is the part I always love. I love taking off the stencil because it's like Christmas every time you do this. So I'm going to gently peel off my tape. Now this stencil's really delicate, so I don't want to pull too hard. So I'm going to actually kind of hold down the stencil and then pull that washi tape off. Now I'm going to go ahead and lift this up, and look how gorgeous that is. So I have a really dark concentrated color at the bottom and a little bit lighter at the top. Now I kind of thought, I think I want to add a little bit of sparkle to this. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of my shimmer spray, and I'm going to bring back in my stencil. I didn't think I wanted to add any shimmer, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it, but I didn't want it to have it all over the card. So I'm going to go ahead and lay back down my stencil because I really just want to have most of that shimmer concentrated right over where most of my distressed ink is. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few spritz up high, not really down low, and then I'm going to pat up most of it with my paper towel. And then I can go ahead and remove my stencil again. And I have some nice shimmer just where my color is, and that looks fantastic. I'm just going to blot up any extra that I might have, and that looks beautiful now. All right, so now I had a mermaid already colored that I colored on Periscope earlier in the day, and I'm going to cut her out for my card. Now, within the card kit, you're going to get this little background piece, and this is what the card kit comes with. I'm going to die cut out some foliage out of that because that was just so pretty. I figured I can go ahead and use that as well. So once I die cut that out, I went ahead and put on some vellum over my card panel. That just softened up that blue just a little bit because it was a little bit too striking. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in my sentiment. So I'm just placing where I want my mermaid to be. And now I can go ahead and grab in my Misty and go ahead and get my sentiment done. So adding just a little bit of vellum over that stencil piece kind of dulled down that bright blue. It was just a little bit too intense after I cut out my foliage, that I just needed to tone that back just a little bit. So don't forget, when you get your Hero Art kit, it usually has a very pretty backer paper that your stamps come in, and then your dies are usually connected to the back of that. Don't waste that. Make sure you use that gorgeous piece of paper. It's usually like a little bit thicker and shinier, and don't discard that. Go ahead and use that because it's actually very, very pretty. On the back side of that, I think it was actually like sand as well. So you can use that for your cards. Don't let all that prettiness go to waste. So I went ahead and made sure that I heat set my sentiment because again, it's on vellum, and I did not want to make sure, I wanted to make sure rather that that sentiment did not smear. So I'm going to go ahead and finish adding the rest of my pieces here. And I'm just setting these down with some multi-medium matte. And I'm just putting on little tiny dots with my bottle. And that is a fine tip nib on the top of that, so I can just get some precise dots, and then I can go ahead and use my tweezers and go ahead and press that down. Isn't that gorgeous? I absolutely love how that came out. Now I can bring back in my mermaid and see where she's going to be landing on my card, and I'm just checking to see if I want to add that third piece, and I do. Now, also in the kit, you're going to get some beautiful sequins, and I mean beautiful sequins. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a few of these. You guys know me. I love to add sequins to any card that I make. So this sequence is absolutely stunning. I love all the pretty shades of purple and green and blue in this pack. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to grab out just a few more and add these around my sentiment and then up across the top of my mermaid. And that's just going to add the finishing touches to my card. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of that adhesive just on my last piece here. And then I can go ahead and finish putting that on. So now, like I was saying, I don't know if this card kit is sold out, but if you're able to get your hands on it, I really think you're going to like it. Now, these mermaids were a little bit smaller than some of the mermaids I had picked up from some other stamp companies this month. But I went ahead and I colored this image right here on Periscope just to show people that don't be intimidated if you find out that some of the images that you purchased are a little bit smaller than what you thought they would be. They are still easy to color. This one here, I actually colored with some Spectrum Noir markers, but you can also color this with color pencils or with your Zig markers, your Copic markers. You can even watercolor this one as well. Now I'm also going to put some of that multi-matte medium underneath my vellum as well, just to hold my vellum in place. Now to initially put on my vellum, I cut my vellum a little bit taller than my sheet of cardstock or my background piece, and I folded it, increased it over the top, and put a piece of Scotch tape behind it. So it was kind of like on a flap system, I guess I would want to call it. So it to get that bottom piece to kind of lay down, I'm just going to go ahead and put some of that multimedia matte down. All right, so I'm just going to put on the last of my pretty sequence. I absolutely love the colors of this sequence. I really, really do. All right, that looks good. Now I need to go ahead and make sure I put my mermaid down. So I'm just going to grab some pop-up dots. I'm going to cut that one in half so I can get some smaller pieces and put that on the back. I really, really want to show you though the colors of the sequence in this pack. It is absolutely gorgeous. So let me go ahead and put down the mermaid and pop her down in place. And then I'm going to show you how gorgeous these colors are, because it's probably one of the prettier packs. Oops, I forgot one of the sequins. Let me go ahead and grab some more of that glue real quick and place that one down. This is probably one of the prettiest sequence bundles I've ever received. It's absolutely gorgeous. All right, so that finishes off the card panel. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put this down onto our card base. So I'm going to be very generous here with some double-sided tape, foam tape. And that's just because I don't want this panel over time to end up just like flopping or giving way in the middle. So I'm going to make sure that I put a good amount of foam tape on this. You know, we spent a lot of work on this, so I just want to make sure that when the recipient gets it, they can have it for quite some time and they don't have to worry about the middle of this card bowing. All right, so I can go ahead and peel that off, and that is really going to be the card for today. I absolutely love how this card turned out, and I think this is such a pretty kit this month from Hero Art. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that down into place, and that looks so pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. I am going to go ahead and grab my scissors, and I'm going to go ahead and trim down just that little bit there. I'm going to go ahead and get my scissors. I'm going to have to glue some of that back on, but I can get those pieces off, and then I can go ahead and grab my multi-matte medium and put just a tad bit down and get that back into place. All right, that is going to wrap up the card for today. I hope you guys liked it, and you can give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic day. See you guys soon. Take care.